Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be 13 drugstore products that are actually as good as high-end products. I've seen these videos quite a few times on YouTube and it'll be like drugstore dupe for high-end product, and I'm like, sometimes I can understand it because like the color will be similar or whatever, but usually the quality is like not, it ain't a dupe, honey. It's not a dupe. Today I took about an hour and went through my entire makeup collection and picked out like comparable drugstore to high-end options. I hope this video is going to be pretty short. I wanted it to be very breezy but still informative, so I hope that you guys stick around and enjoy this video and find it helpful. Don't forget to leave me your like favorite drugstore to high-end comparables in the comments below, and all of the products that I mentioned today will be listed in the down bar below with links for your access, whatever. Let's just get started. The first two I have are the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Finishing Powder and the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. I have the prices listed here on the screen so that you can see the difference. I will go ahead and just say it. These are absolutely identical. They do the exact same thing. There's not really a difference when I use them, despite the Tarte powder being just slightly more finely milled. They both have the same finish, same lasting quality, except one is much cheaper than the other. Much cheaper. My absolute holy grail favorite lip liners are the 24/7, I'm blinking so much right now, I'm so sorry, my eyes are so dry, are the 24/7 lip pencils by Urban Decay. I love them because not only do they just go on with like such intense pigmentation with the lightest hand, they dry down waterproof, and they have a little bit of that primer in them. Why can't I remember anything? Hold please. The Ultimate Ozone Primer is what it's called. I believe that this is mixed into the formula because it just lasts all day, like all freaking day long. A great comparable is the NYX Retractable Lip Liners. These have the same sort of creamy pigmented effect, and they go on very tacky and yet dry down, completely waterproof, last for hours on end, and obviously the price difference is something you cannot beat. So if you don't feel like spending $20 or so in a lip liner, definitely check out the NYX ones. They're a really great comparable. Okay, please be gentle with me with what I'm about to say next. This is just my opinion. I know some people are very protective of MAC for some reason, but I find that the Milani matte lipsticks are very comparable to the MAC matte lipsticks, both in formula and in pigmentation. I find that the Milani lipsticks are just slightly less creamy and thick, but have the same staying power and the same exact finish as the matte MAC lipsticks. Jesus Christ. So if you are in high school and your mom or dad will absolutely not get you any MAC lipsticks because the price tag is offensive, I definitely recommend checking out the Milani ones. They're very similar. They're just not as thick on the lips. I find actually that they don't gunk up in the corners of the mouth as much as the MAC lipsticks. There is a drugstore mascara that is my holy grail mascara and does make my long eyelashes even longer, so it will probably have similar results for you. It is the Jordana Best Lash Extreme Mascara, and I find that it is very similar to the Benefit They're Real mascara. It is just as good. The formula is almost the same, except the Jordana Best Lash is a little bit lighter. It's not as heavy on the lashes. It does the same super drying, sometimes flaking effect that the Benefit They're Real does, except it washes off a lot easier, and it's literally usually $2 at Walgreens. Can we just take a moment? You could hoard this. You could hoard it and be good for life. This concealer is something that I have mentioned so many times on my channel. It's a product that is as good as a high-end concealer across the board, but it's not really comparable to any of the high-end concealers I have tried. It's very unique in formula, and it is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I love this concealer because it's very thick and very creamy without being emollient, which means it's not going to be greasy or oily beneath the eyes. However, it's also not drying. It's a perfect happy medium. It's like $7, worth it. One of my favorite foundations ever, like from drugstore to high-end, it doesn't matter, is the L'Oreal True Match foundation. It is just such a great quality for a drugstore foundation. It is one of those that lasts a very long time, which is like the number one thing that everyone seems to notice with a high-end foundation is its lasting power, and I find that this lasts just as long as many different high-end foundations. However, it is very comparable to the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in consistency and coverage. The True Match coverage isn't instantly full like the Too Faced foundation is, but it can be built right up to that with a light second layer. And I find that the Too Faced is a little bit more matte or satin in finish, while the True Match is a little bit more satin to dewy, but you can set it down no problem. This one's a little bit weird because I don't know a lot of people that use these, but I'm mentioning it just in case you guys do. This is also my best, like, this one's as good as this high-end one of this whole video, and it is the NYX Simply Nude Lip Cream Pencil and the Tarte Exposed Lip Surgeons Matte Lip Tint. These are like an identical product. I find that the NYX one is actually way more pigmented than the Tarte one. The Tarte one for me dries out and I'm always having to like rub the pencil on my hand to get like this powdery finish off of it. I don't know why it does that. The NYX one doesn't. The NYX one, so much cheaper, very comparable in color. There's a great color selection that you could color match to the Tarte one with. It's just such a good steal because it is so good. It's as good as the Tarte for sure. If you love or have been lusting after the Urban Decay Revolution lip glosses because they're pigmented yet still very glossy, I definitely recommend that you try out the NYX Extreme Butter Glosses. They are not only worlds more pigmented, but they're also just as shiny. They have a very nice lacquer-like finish on the lips. Finish-wise, concept-wise, the NYX Extreme Butter Glosses are just as good, if not better, in terms of that full glossy pigmentation. If you are someone who has, say, one Naked palette and you absolutely love it, and the reason you haven't picked up any more is because they are $55, $60, I'm going to force you to go check out the Wet n Wild eyeshadows. I know it's such a huge difference. This Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, I believe, is literally, I picked it up for $4. It might have been on sale for $2. I'm not sure. It is so comparable in quality and shadow finish to the Naked One palette. It is mind-blowing how amazing this palette is for so cheap. These two products were a fun comparison. They are the NYX Illuminator in the shade Ritualistic and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Illuminator in the shade Starlight. As you can see, they are very similar both in reflect and in tone. The Anastasia highlight is just slightly more wet or glossy on the skin, whereas the NYX highlight is a little bit more satin in finish, not frosty, but it's not going to give you the wet look that the Anastasia one does. For the price point though, I feel like if you are someone who can't afford the Anastasia ones or don't want to spend that much on an illuminator, definitely check out the NYX ones. They have quite a bit of colors. I believe they have 4 or 5 now. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but they have some that are very comparable to the Anastasia ones, but for a much cheaper price, as you saw. My last drugstore product that I think is as excellent as a high-end product is the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. Again, you guys and girls who are like MAC whores, please be gentle on me. This is just my opinion. I think this is very, very, very close to the MAC Fix Plus. The NYX Dewy Setting Spray gives me that kind of sticky, dewy, obviously, feeling on the skin if I overdo it, just like the Fix Plus does, and I find that it sets my makeup the exact same. It just is very similar in formulation and texture. Obviously, the Fix Plus has a smell that no one can match because it is the nectar of the makeup gods. The NYX one is great for those of you who, again, might be in school, whatever you're doing in your life, where you cannot get your hands on the coveted MAC Fix Plus spray. The NYX one will not do you wrong, I'm telling you. I personally feel like it's like nearly identical, if not identical, in formulation. All right, so that is it for my comparisons. I really worked hard to go through my makeup collection, swatching, testing textures, finishes, you name it, on these drugstore and high-end products to really get the best comparables for those of you who are searching for drugstore products desperately that match the high-end products that you may not want to splurge on, that you can't afford, or that your parents won't buy for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to share it on whatever platform you like if you enjoyed it. That way other people will see it and maybe benefit from the comparisons as well. I'll be back in a few days as always, so we shall speak again then. Bye! My absolute favorite lip liners are the 24/7 Lip Pencils